The US Mint closes 2 facilities, not today, although there is some word they're looking at the San Francisco Mint. What's so important about that? Well, let's talk about that. Let's take a look at what's going on with the San Francisco Mint. Well, my headline is, I was doing research and saw this. U.S. Mint closes 2 facilities amid coronavirus crisis. This is in 2020. You know, when you have to close something for a certain reason, there's nothing wrong with doing that, temporary or not. So I showed you that Mint was closed for just a little bit because of the coronavirus, and things went back to normal. And then they're looking at the San Francisco Mint, potentially to see if it's a valuable asset to be used or to continue production. And I'll show you a little bit of that. It was in Coin World. Fate of West Coast Mint could be up in the air. Now remember this, when you are listening to the news, look for could be, maybe, if, possibly. All those words make it impossible to say they're wrong. Okay, that's kind of opinionated. So they did look at everything. They're looking at everything. Okay, Doge is looking at everything. Anything that is wasteful is going. If it's not wasteful and it's helping people, it will remain. Said it time and again. You can talk about things without getting political. You don't have to like or hate or whatever. But the facts, the facts. They looked at this U.S. Mint, valuable property, seeing what the production is, seeing if it's worth keeping. But what is wrong with that? Okay, this is the thing. The U.S. Mint is known, the government's known for shutting down mints. And if you don't know this, it's important. The New Orleans Mint stopped operations in 1909. Carson City, 1893. The Dahlonega Mint facility. It's a D mint mark. It's not a Denver mint mark on these coins. Then you have the Charlotte Mint. It was in North Carolina. It's a C mint. Has a C on there, not the CC, but just the C. So you had all these mints that have closed. And then you have right now the San Francisco Mint, the Philadelphia Mint, the Denver Mint, and the West Point Mint that are still in existence. Do we need all these mints? Is there a reason for it? There is. There was reasons for these mints. A lot of it had to do with finding precious metals in those areas, Comstock lodes and little gold rushes and things like that. There were reasons for it. And when that reason was finished, or for whatever reason, you can read the actual details here why they closed them, then it was time to close them. They were no longer needed. Now, I grew up with the government being wasteful or fraudulent. And time and time and again over the last 20-some years, all I've heard about is how the U.S. Mint's coins are too expensive. If we can make the mints more efficient, cut some stuff out of it, make them more streamlined, update the software. I mean, I think people have forgotten how the Mint's websites were getting shut down because of the attacks from bots. And now using Cloudflare and using other things to make sure you're a human being instead of a bot. It happened to me. We have to upgrade our infrastructures for the mints, make our mints more safe, actually keep them ahead of times. A lot of times this stuff that's going on in the mints is just so wasteful. You know, we got presidential dollars sitting in vaults that no one wants to spend. A lot of things going on that's wasteful. You know, making the cent that's costing more than a cent to make. You know, the nickel's the same thing. It's costing 8 cents or 12 cents or whatever it is to make the nickel. It's more than 5 cents. Let's put it that way. And of course, it's made up with the dime and the quarter and the half. But the thing is that it's wasteful spending, wasteful cost. And honestly, if we could streamline the mint, update any software that needs to be updated, eliminate anything that doesn't need to be going on, even if it's elimination of a mint, then I think I'm all for it. Anything that would improve and help it. Now, I'm not emotional about it. I'm not going to be upset. I mean, I don't care who's doing it or who's not doing it as long as it's done the right way. I don't have to get political. The other thing is that look at all the mints that have closed, and the coins that they made, they still exist. And they are very collectible, especially the Georgia and the North Carolina mint. Those are extremely valuable mint marks on coins. Then you got the CC. Now the New Orleans, they minted more, so they're not as valuable, but they're still collectible. People still collect coins from the mints that are closed. But 97% of the coins that we collect were already minted, and they're never going to be minted again. The US Mint only mints new coins with the dates for the year they're minting them. They don't go back and mint more stuff. So if you close them, that's not going to matter a whole lot, because those coins that we do collect are already there. They're out there right now as we speak. Matter of fact, if people don't think more coins are going to be made, it may create a little collector spike. It might help the hobby. I don't know. But I'm not saying we should shut down the mints. That's not the point. What I'm saying is, if they go after a mint, there's no reason to panic. There's no reason to fall into the FOMOs and all the political propaganda that's going on, because the U.S. Mint has done this before. This is not anything new. Cutting things, doing away with things, that's just part of the process of a complicated government that we have. And if we lose a mint, or if we stop some production on certain things or certain coins, it is most certainly not going to hurt the hobby, because the track record of closing mints and low mintages and not minting a coin with a certain mint mark is definitely never hurt the hobby. Not one bit. You can look at the history of that. So thanks for watching my latest video. Please like, share, and comment, and have a great day.